Hello everyone, this is Guido Pelagos and today we're going to do a state of the collection. Now some watches have left, the Longines Quartz Conquest is left. It's probably one of my most watched videos, the reviews of that watch, but that one is gone. The 56BB or the 50BB G-Shock has gone. So we'll see what is left, right? Well, I have two boxes. I got all the watches from 4 different locations back to be able to put it in a case or and show it, a box and show it to you now. So let's start off with the old box that I store old watches in, or watches that have some things going on with them. Now, for example, this one, this is the Dazed Spider Dialed Omega Geneva from 1973. I bought this watch in Caracas for $150. You can see it doesn't have a crown. It really needs a service, and it needs a new bracelet and everything. So yeah, this is probably, when I got the new job from January on, I think I'm going to try to get this one serviced as quick as possible, because this needs a bracelet and well, I got the crown, but you know, maybe it's not the crown that they can reuse or whatever. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen with this watch. I want to have it running again. It's probably going to be a lot more money than the watch is worth, but since this is my first luxury watch, I might just have to take the dive on this one. And then we have the watch that I wear every day, which is the 5610. It's the sleep watch for me. This is the watch I sleep with. Now, the thing is, the Reason Band doesn't work for me. I developed some kind of allergy, so I can't really use that anymore. So I bought these Amazon adapter things for on the strap, and it really works nice. It makes the strap look a little bit small, in my opinion, but, you know, can't win them all. And when you can't wear it on the Reason and you still want to wear this, because it's a fantastic watch. Anybody who says, I want to have a watch but doesn't know what kind of watch they want, I always say, get this one. If you don't care and just want to have a brilliant watch, get the Casio G-Shock 5610. This is I just come back to this one. This is the Geneva from 1973 Omega 1012 caliber. Well, then we'll go to this one. This is a watch I had when I was very young. This is a NOS rebuy. As you can see, the bracelet doesn't really fit anymore, but it seemed to fit the Omega, so I used it on the Omega a little while. Yeah, this is just a Psycho 5 from the early 90s or mid-90s. Looks nice, nothing too special. Like I said, I wore this one for a little while. Then I exchanged it with my dad for his watch, which I'll show you later, which is a 74 Psycho. Just a nice watch, but I never really wear this. This is a rebuy, and this is a rebuy I don't really care much about, unfortunately. Sometimes you buy bad rebuys. This is another rebuy, but this is a rebuy of a watch I really enjoyed. This is the, I think it's the FD100 Fish and Time G-Shock. The calendar goes to 2029, so what kind of millennium bug comes out of it when that comes to pass, I don't know. It's just a fun watch. It shows by tides. It shows when you should be fishing. You can see the fish. Maybe you can see the fish in the display where the tides show you. So if there's a full moon, you get 4 fishes and stuff. It's fun. You know, it's nothing like you won't catch any fish when it's not there, but it's just, you know, I used to fish a lot when I was a teenager, and having this watch, of course, was the bomb. Then I'm talking about a watch that I bought because I had an itch. I just wanted to buy a watch, so I bought this one. This is the World Time Casio. Yeah, it's fine. It's fun. I don't think I ever wore it. I think it even got a backlight. Wow. Yeah. You know, it's a fun watch, but there's nothing much to say about this one than that it's just a cheap Casio. And if you like it, that's why I keep it in the other box, because it doesn't really get worn, and I'm not throwing it away, of course, so that's that. And then we get to a nice watch I bought in Armenia. When I was in Armenia, I bought this like late 50s, I think, Vostok. It actually sounds like a bomb because it's like 16,000 beats a minute or an hour or something. So it really has this slow ticking kind of movement. This is a manual wind, but it works. You know, it works. It probably never had a service. It's got Armenian writing on the back, but you know, it's it's a fun watch. I mean, it's small, but especially on a nice strap like this, a hair strap, I think it just works. You know, nothing special, but it's just a nice vintage piece that reminds me of a very good international exchange I had in Armenia. There's actually a film about this on my channel. It's called Armenia Awesomeness, I think. But if you look under Armenia, it's a film that lasts for about an hour and 45 minutes. It's a 5-year-old film from the time that YouTube still had YouTube Editor. So this is all in one take. Anyway, so nice watch. That's that box. You know, the box is done. And then I filled this box, which is my original watch box again today, especially for the occasion. Now I'm going to show you the top side of the... Look at my iron board. Let me just show you the top of the... It's just a really nice... Yeah, you can't really see it that well. I can put on the lighting, but then it will just show you a lot of light again. So you'll just have to... actually, you can find this video as well. I think if you type in AEVITAS, Aevitas, you can find a video on my channel about this box. So without further ado, let's just have a look at the watches right over there. You can see all the slots in here. It just works. Oh, this one is the wrong way around for my OCD. That doesn't really work. And we'll go just one by one. So the first watch I'm going to show you is the Citizen. And this is the Citizen Skyhawk Blue Angels AT. Nice little orange light that I like as a background. Normally I'll have it like this. There we go. This is the watch I normally take with me when I go travel, simply because it's waterproof. But as well, you can use the bezel very well for monetary calculations. You just put the one, just put the 1 point whatever it is above the 10, and you can read around the bezel immediately what something costs. It's quicker than any converting on your phone or on a list or wherever. Yeah, nice watch. I have had this since 2012. I have put it on a AliExpress waterproof band, and I actually had the bezels renewed. These are new bezels, and separately, because Citizen didn't do it, I got the mineral crystal replaced for a sapphire crystal. So it's a very strong and very nice watch. The bezel, of course, doesn't click, it just turns, but that's fine. It's a really, really nice, robust flight watch. Blue Angels. Now I'll go straight over to this one, because this is my mod Vostok, and you can see that the bezel here comes straight from the old Skyhawk Citizen. This is a scuba dude. A lot of people know this watch. I put it because, you know, this comes on a horrible bracelet, so I put it on a mesh, nice little mesh, and yeah, it's just a waterproof watch that needs a new glass. The problem is that I'm not gonna, well, I have a different case, so I might just swap everything over, because the glass for this watch is probably just as expensive as a whole new scuba dude. Well, more or less. So yeah, just a nice watch. A bit of a beater, kind of a joke thing, but you know, still part of my collection. Then of course we got the Candino. This watch I bought in 2000 when I was working in a hotel in Amsterdam. They had a boutique there, and they were selling Festinas and Candinos, and this, I think this is such a nice kind of a Royal Oakish kind of a quartz Swiss watch that I really like it. It's not very thick because of course it's quartz. I had the whole movement replaced by a new quartz watch, quartz movement in there, because the old one was just done. You know, after like 15 years, it just didn't do anything anymore. Had 2 battery changes and then it broke. So yeah, I just really like this watch. I sometimes wear it, of course, also on a bracelet, on a mesh, because the original bracelet was just as flimsy as any other bracelet for that money. I think I paid €100 for this. But still, it's a nice color red. It shows up a little bit more orange in this video, but it's actually blood red. It's a really nice color red, and unfortunately you can't really see the, well, you can see a little bit of lume, but it shines up pretty well as well with the lume. Now then again, of course, we have the outdoors watch, which is of course the The Mudmaster. This is yeah, this is like the outdoor watch. What else can I say about this? This is one that survived. I had this actually on the Jason case adapters. The problem is though, if you buy Jason case adapters, you have to take out the metal pins, and then your watch becomes very fragile. This is the way the lugs broke on my new Rangeman. That was an $800 watch, and that broke. But I didn't care because I really wanted to wear that watch, and it just didn't do what I want. It kept pissing me off. It was just a horrible watch to wear and to use. It was very user unfriendly. It was too big. It had all kinds of flaws. The GPS would just fall away. It wouldn't have record half of my trip. It was just a horrible watch, and that's the only watch I ever manually disintegrated. I talked about that on another video. So that watch is not in the collection as well. So it's the Longines is gone, the Rangeman is gone, but this one is still there, and this will be there for a long time. It's got everything I need on a watch, especially an outdoor watch. It's got a compass, and it's got the barometer, and both really work well. I wouldn't buy this watch for the altimeter or the thermometer because both are just like more or less like a joke. Of course, this is solar as well, radio controlled like the Citizen Skyhawk. It's just a great watch to wear when you go outdoors. You don't wear that under a suit, of course. Take that back now. There we go. This is the 1974 Seiko that my dad used to wear. Of course, my dad passed away about 3 years ago, and I wear this every time it's Father's Day or it's birthday or anything like that. And it's a nice automatic watch. It's been completely overhauled as well. It went out together with the Candino. There's a video on my channel about these two watches being overhauled. If you want to have a look, this is the Seiko 7409. I'm not really sure. It's 1974 automatic Seiko. Really nice, cool watch. I like the way the dial is diverted into 4 parts, and the way the hour markers are put on there with the hands. Just a very nice watch. Of course, again on a mesh because the original bracelet of this thing was even flimsier than the Vostok. Then we go to the other mod I have, which I actually really enjoy. This is the Seiko Street that I have. Now, the Seiko Street comes with a shroud like this. Oh, yeah, so let me just put that the right way around. Can I put it in here? Yep. So it comes with a shroud like this, but it's just a really big watch with the shroud on. If you take the shroud off and you get the screws back in, you really have a nice watch. Now, when you put this on this is a suede Hirsch strap. I mean, the strap originally it's like half the price of the watch, but it gets this kind of weird, kind of survival kind of a look. Might just be me, but I love the way it looks like this on the brown leather instead of a NATO, which I love it on the green NATO. And of course, I'm going to put it on the green NATO if I'm going to take it swimming or so on. But just like an everyday wearer, I think this just rocks like some kind of a weird survival watch on the on the suede. And as you can see, this is just on the wrist. This is not a big watch. It's like 38 millimeter or something now. So it's suddenly a very wearable watch. I really enjoy this solar watch. I think it's gorgeous. And I had 2 of them. I sold another one to Ben, a viewer on my channel. Hi Ben, shout out if you're watching. Try this. This is absolutely fantastic. Although I love the way this looks. So very cool. Very cool. Then we go to the pride of the channel. That's the Omega 751 Constellation from 1969 with a Dutch day. You can see here VR, which stands for Friday. Now, I didn't want to put the date and the day correctly because it needs a service, and if I do that, I might break the movement a little bit more than it already has. So it will run in run chronometer specs. Thing is, I don't think the wheel, the automatic wheel, will wind it. So I don't think I'll run the risk of overwinding it manually and so on. But this is just a very nice watch with a silver dial, Onyx hour markers, white gold fluted bezels, an invention by Omega. Whatever you say about some kind of Rolexes, this is the original. And let's show the back. It has this wonderful, you see, constellation and observatory with actual bricks in the tower that they stopped doing recently. So just a gorgeous watch. Watch is over 50 years old with a Dutch day. Movement 751, like I said, the last of the series of the 5600 series, truly in-house for the true in-house wankers. This is probably my most special watch, together with the Grand Seiko, but this watch is very hard to find, just like the Seiko. Then we got the Presage. Now that is a watch that really nicely surprised me. It's got this really nice sunburst dial with a power reserve, a sunk-in sub-dial with the date on there. It's just a nice watch to wear, and especially on this mesh. I've had it on other straps and so on. Of course, light brown straps will work on any watch more or less, but I think this one just works very well on the mesh. As you can see, it has all kinds of ways the light plays with the dial. If you turn it round, you can see the actual movement in here. It's just for there's a video on my channel about this watch, something called the watch for the non-watch lovers budget nice watch or something. I think it's something called like that. And I think it is, because it's a classy looking watch. It's not a cheap looking watch. It isn't a cheap watch. I mean, it's still like 400 or 500 euros. But for a watch, it's not that expensive, but it just punches way above its waist. Of course, it says Seiko on the dial. Not everybody likes that, but I think that's a ridiculous argument in the long run anyway. So I really enjoy this watch, especially the way it looks. And if you want to show somebody a watch, that is a very nice watch to show. Now, then we get to... Oh, I already showed you this one, my dad's watch. So let's see where we end up with now. Well, we'll go to the front and we'll start with the Citizen Grand Touring. The blue watch that a lot of people really enjoy. It's the watch with the best anti-reflective coating. I just feel like I can just grab the hands out of the case. It's incredible. I haven't seen any other watch that has that well done anti-reflective coating. Even the Pelagos doesn't come close to this. I do have a bit of a love relationship with this watch because it's really heavy, it's clunky, it's big, it's got a bit of a Panerai Ploprof kind of a thing going on. What I hate most about the watch is the way the crown works. The crown protector just only goes out this far. That's insane. That's not really far. So you can't really take the crown, grab the crown, use the crown. I think it's just a fault in the way it was designed. The crown is, I think, very hard to operate, especially when you have to put it back in, because when you have to screw it back in, that piece of steel here is all the time in the way. But still, it really looks nice. There's a lot of depth in the watch. Of course, this has a display case back as well. Nice movement. I think it was a 1915, which they only use. 1912 or 1915, which they only use for the Signature series. So I had this one imported because they don't sell it in Holland. So I had to get this from the US, and I paid an arm and a leg, and I use this together with the Skyhawk when I go on holiday. This would be my evening watch or my shiny watch during the daytime, and the Citizen would be when I go traveling. So yeah, cool watch, but also for sale. Then we go to the Seiko. Oh, there's a little bit of a mark on the glass. There we go. The Blue Lagoon, the limited edition Seiko with the yellow hand. And the yellow mark is at 9, 12, 3, and 6. I think this is a really nice watch. It's had a really great way of the light playing with the colors. For me, it's been a bit of a jinx watch. Every time I wear it, something happens. So I'm a little bit curious and a little bit careful with this watch. But I think the way it doesn't have a signed crown, which I thought was a little bit weird. But I like the way the case just is very clunky. This samurai way of showing how this watch is made. And it's a lot of people don't like the bracelet because of the 3-part. Actually, this bracelet fits me as a bracelet best of all my watches. Now, of course, the Pelagos fits nice, and it fits nicer for a watch that has a bracelet. But for a stainless steel bracelet, this exactly fits well. I don't have to... Normally, it's just a little bit too loose or a little bit too tight. This is absolutely perfect on the wrist for me. So that was a surprise, and it's a nice watch, and it's a limited edition as far as 6,000 pieces go. But it's just a very nice watch. I prefer this over the turtle case. I don't really get that case. So for me, this is a winner. Then we get for the first last, of course I'm going to end up with the channel watch, but first I'm going to show you this bracelet. This is the Seiko, Grand Seiko SBGX 115 bracelet. This is a generic bracelet that I use on many Grand Seikos. And for the watch itself, for the Quartz SBGX, it is actually just too big. It's too heavy, it's too big. And when I put this watch on this leather strap, I was sold. I was like, this is the ultimate look for a watch for me. Now, everybody's got their Grail watch, and there's still watches that I want to have. But the first time when I saw this watch on a Block to Watch, I knew this was the watch that I thought was one of the nicest watches I have ever seen in my life. And it's so clean, and it's not white, it's kind of beige white. It's a beautiful dial. The finishing is just fantastic. It's just a very well made quartz watch. It's got the 9F in there, so it's not just any Seiko quartz movement in there. And I didn't care. When I saw it, I knew I wanted to have it, whether it was quartz, hand binder, or whatever. And it turned out to be quartz, and I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? Let me show you the case back. Oops. There's the case back. You can see the numbers of the years where it will have new batteries put in. So what a watchmaker does is anytime you have a battery change, it will make a little bit of a mark on the back, on the case back, so you can see when the last battery change was made. This goes 50 years without service. I mean, but it's just, especially on the wrist, I mean, it just looks absolutely fantastic. So yeah, this is my most precious watch, in the sense that I will never ever sell unless I'm really